So, have you ever felt like you're just reacting to life? Like you're just being carried along by whatever happens? Well, what if you could actually be the architect of your own reality just by choosing what you think? It's a pretty revolutionary idea, right? And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how it works. This quote from our source material really gets right to the heart of it. It's suggesting that every single thought is like an order you send out to the universe, which then, responds. This is the main idea we're exploring today. Your inner world is literally the blueprint for your outer world. But here's the thing. For so many of us, that inner dialogue can be full of criticism and fear and just negativity. So if our thoughts are that powerful, it means the negative ones are shaping our lives too. And that's exactly what we need to figure out how to change. So here's our game plan. First, we'll really lock in this foundational idea that your thoughts create your reality. Then we're going to dive into some of the surprising science behind it. After that, we'll get super practical with how to, weed your mental garden. We'll look at some powerful tools for change. And finally, we'll explore what it really means to live an empowered life. All right, let's jump into our first big idea. I want you to think of it this way. Everything you're experiencing in your life right now, your relationships, your health, your job, it's all a direct echo of the thoughts and beliefs you've held in the past. Your reality today is pretty much a mirror of your past mind. And this is where all of our power is. This one little sentence is a game changer. It means if you want a different future, a different tomorrow, the work has to start right here, right now, with the thoughts you are choosing to think today. You're literally planting the seeds for your future with every single thought. Now, I know this might all sound a bit philosophical, but it's really not. There's actual science that explains how our thinking physically affects our bodies, right down to the cellular level. Okay, I want you to remember this word, neuropeptides. A researcher named Candace Pert coined the term, and they're basically chemical messengers that your brain releases every single time you have a thought. And these little messengers travel all throughout your body, delivering messages to your cells. They are the physical bridge between your mind and your body. And here's the direct impact of that. It's pretty stark. When your thoughts are loving and positive, your brain releases neuropeptides that actually enhance your immune system. But when your thoughts are angry or critical or fearful, it releases chemicals that depress it. Your thoughts can literally make you sick or help you heal. It's wild. So one single negative thought might not seem like a big deal, but our source points out that we have, on average, 60,000 thoughts every single day. Just imagine the cumulative effect of that. Day after day, are you bathing your cells in a chemistry of healing or in a cocktail of stress? The sheer volume of our thoughts makes our patterns incredibly important. Okay, this brings us to the really crucial part. Knowing all this stuff is one thing, but how do we actually change these deep-seated patterns? Especially when most of those 60,000 thoughts are just repeats from yesterday. I love this metaphor from the source. Think of your mind as a garden. You can't just toss a bunch of new positive seeds onto soil that's full of weeds and rocks and expect a beautiful garden to pop up, right? The first and most important step is to clear the ground. You have to actively identify and pull out the negative beliefs that are choking out all your potential. And this shows us exactly how to do that weeding in 4 really clear steps. First, you gotta identify your subconscious beliefs. So you make lists about key areas of your life, like what do you really believe about money or relationships? Second, you analyze those lists. Mark them up. Which ones are supportive, which ones are negative? Third, you have to consciously decide to let the negative ones go. And finally, you transform them. You rewrite each negative belief into a powerful, positive statement. So, once you've weeded the garden and planted some new seeds, you have to water them, right? That's where these tools for positive change come in. They're the daily practices that really reinforce your new way of thinking. One of the most powerful tools is something called mirror work. Now, I know, this might feel a little strange or even silly at first, but trust me, it's profound. You stand in front of a mirror, you look yourself right in the eyes, and you say this affirmation out loud. It's a way to kind of bypass your inner critic and speak directly to your subconscious. Now, for affirmations to really work, they've got to follow a few rules. They have to be in the present tense. Saying, I will be prosperous, just tells your subconscious that prosperity is always off in the future. But saying, I am prosperous, claims it for yourself right now. You have to focus on what you want, repeat it every day, and build a whole new mental foundation, one declaration at a time. When you consistently weed that mental garden and practice these tools, something really incredible starts to happen. You begin to operate from a completely different set of internal rules, your own personal laws for a joyful and successful life. These are some really powerful examples from the author's own life. Just imagine making these your default settings. Instead of living from a place of fear or lack, you start living from a core belief in your own safety, abundance, and well-being. These aren't just thoughts anymore. They become a declaration of how your world fundamentally works. So in the end, it really all comes down to this. Your thoughts can be your greatest allies, or they can be your worst enemies, and you have the power to choose. So the question I want to leave you with is, what are your thoughts telling you right now? And maybe more importantly, are you ready to choose new ones?